Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing well. A very good morning to all of you. Today I am Parul, finally going to start the live course of management for SEBI and RBI exam. I am so thrilled today. I'm so excited today that finally the day has come today and we're going to study management with whole new perspective, enthusiasm and much more excitement. Before I start and go further, please do let me know whether am I audible and visible to you. Good morning, Pulki. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so before I start with the course, I have little something to tell you. In this course of management, we are going to learn everything about management from A to Z. I do not want to skip anything for you guys, and I want you to have your dream job. We are here today, and I want you guys to be here. So we have to go from this point, this point. I'm here to bridge the gap between your dream. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So in this class, thank you. In this class, we will be studying the first chapter of management, which is Introduction of Management. And we're going to study the following topics, which are concept of management, wherein we will be study the basic definitions of management, the process of management, the basic difference between effectiveness and efficiency. Then we are going to study about features of management, objectives of management, the importance of management, levels, and last but not the least, nature of management as science, art, and so let's get started. Just give me a second. Okay, all right. So, first, in order to understand the management, I'm here with two definitions. As you can see on the screen, first I have this definition, and second I have this definition. The first definition says management is a process of getting things done, the aim of achieving goals effectively. I'm repeating again. Management is the process of getting things done with the aim of achieving goals effectively and efficiently. Here I marked three keywords, which are process, effective, and let me tell you about these. It's first let's understand the literal meaning of management. The Hindi meaning of management is prabandh. प्रबंध करना, प्रबंध करना सबका, हर एक चीज का. In English, manage everything, right? Manage everything. First, take care of everything. Manage all the resources what you have. You know, in an organization, you have different kinds of resources. The organization have human resources. We have economic resources. We have different materials. And you know the worst part is these all are limited in nature. All resources are limited in nature. So it is a responsibility of an organization to use these resources in best of its capacity. Use the human resources, the economic resources, to use all the materials in the best capacity. So in order to do that, it is important for an organization to have an effective management, to know how to use these resources to the best of its capacity. All right, I hope I'm clear till now. So it is the process. It is written here that management is a process. Why is it saying that? Why management is a process? Management is a process because it involves certain activities, sorry for my handwriting, work on that. It involves certain functions which are, I hope you are aware about the functions of the management: planning, organizing, staffing, directing. So it is a process. Why is it a process? I'm repeating again, because it involves certain activities, it involves certain functions which are generally follows more or less in every organization. Which are generally followed more or less in every organization. I'm repeating a particular sentence again and again just to have a better understanding. And when we hear something repeatedly, it's stuck in our brain, and I want you to have better understanding of every topic. Okay, so it is a process. I hope you understood why management is a process. We are not here just to read the definition. We are here to understand every keyword. Why the author has used certain keyword, it's important to understand. So management is a process. I hope I made getting things done with the aim of achieving goals effectively and we're going to understand the basic difference and what is effectiveness and efficiently in the upcoming. So I've already told you, if I talk about in terms of functions, management is defined as the process of planning, organizing, and controlling the efforts of organizational. Every organization have in every organization we have individuals. So it's also important for management, for an organization, to take care of their personal objectives. That is why it is saying that efforts of organizational, okay, efforts of organizational members and using organizational resources to achieve specific goals. As I mentioned earlier, in every organization we have limited resources, but it's up to the organization, it's up to the management, how that organization is using those resources and achieving all the goals which an organization is having in its mind. So the people who perform these functions are called managers, and the people who are doing all the work, who are managing, who are organizing, who are recruiting people, who are directing people, who are in controlling function. That is for making sure that we are going as per the plan. And if we are not, what are the deviation and how we can improve that? What we can do in order to achieve our goals. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So as I mentioned earlier, so it is a process of management. Okay, the process of management, and we have planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. I will not teach you in today's class the basic process of management because we are going to discuss this topic, process of management, in our third chapter. So see you guys there. All right. It's very important. So the basic difference between effectiveness and efficiency. So there are two terms in management: effectiveness and efficiency. First, we'll understand what is effective. So, effectiveness, it is concerned with the right task. I'm not doing the right task. So, it involves doing the right task, completing activity and goals. In other words, it concerned with the end. So, if one person is, suppose, for instance, I say that I am person. What does that mean? That I just want to finish my task. It does not matter to me how much cost I am incurring, and other important terms. So it just concerned with the end result. It does not include the cost. But if an organization is has efficiency, then of course it means the task correctly and with minimum cost. Here, the organization is completing the task, but at the same time, it is also keeping in consideration the cost. As I said earlier, everything is limited. We have limited resources. We are not in an imaginary world that we have everything in abundance and we can do whatever we want. It's not the kind of situation, right? So it means doing the right task correctly and with minimum cost. Please keep in mind the basic difference is this only, that it just involves completing the task, but in efficiency we are completing the task, but at the same time we are making sure that we are using the minimum resources, that is we incur minimum cost. That is why an organization will earn profit. So we all know that in order to earn profit, it's important to have minimal cost, but making sure you do not compromise on quality and sell, so that you can have a greater margin for your business. You can use for other maybe for expansion and for other. So how can we increase the efficiency? This is an important question. How can one person the can anyone has any idea about it? How can you make sure that you are completing a particular work and at the same time you are incurring less cost? How? Like, do you have any idea? Okay, so they saying by using by using the less inputs such as money, materials, equipment, persons, more output is produced. So there is one way. For instance, for the same output, we try to use the minimal resource. And second, we have for the same output, for fewer resources are used, less cost are incurred. Basically, the more or less they are saying the same thing, that we should try to use the less resources for the same output in order to generate the more money. Okay, I hope I made sense till now. Okay, here's an example I want you guys to suppose there are two persons. It is the manager and it is the employee. The manager tells the employee to sell 1,000 to produce 1,000 units in a month for a particular thing, commodity, right? So what he does, he is an obedient employee. So what he does, now he has only one thing, that my boss told me to have. I'm so sorry, Shraddha, there was some technical glitch from our side. That is why you didn't get the notification. We make sure that from next time onwards, when we will be having the class, you guys get the notification. Okay? All right. Okay. Yeah. So let's back to the example now. So here is the manager and it's an employee. So the manager told the employee to produce 10,000 units for a particular commodity. So now the employee has only one thing, which is to produce 10,000 units. So he's saying, no matter what happens, I will produce 10,000 units. It does not matter to me how much raw material will be used and other things. So he does. He produced 10,000 units and he goes to his boss and says, sir, I completed my task and produced 10,000 units and I'm so happy. So next question his boss asks is that, how much cost did you incur? And replies it does not matter, because the concern should be completing the task, which were 10,000 units. It does not matter to me how much costs are incurred. So in order to complete the task, what this employee was doing was, he was operating on double shift. So in order to operate the double shift, it will require the double view. So if we see, what he did was, he used the raw material 2 times, which this example clearly says that this person is effective but has not achieved the efficiency. So as you can see here, so this was the production manager, and saying, so we have achieved the target production of 10,000 units, but we had to operate on double shift because of power failure. So he's saying, whether am I an effective person or efficient person? So he's the CEO. He's saying, no, Aman, you are not effective. You are not efficient. You are effective because he completed the task, but he has completed the task, but not at minimum cost. I hope I made the sense and you are clear with the basic difference between effectiveness and efficiency. Guys, it's very, very, very important to be good at something, to have strong. When we go to have clear communication skills, it's more important for us to learn the basic concept of grammar, to have good vocabulary. And with practice, it's a gradual process. With practice, we can become good at English. So at the same time, here at management, these things are important in order to understand the milestone of that, syllabus. So that is why I'm taking greater deal of time for you guys to understand everything in detail, so that when you write the answers in examination, it will very easier for you to write these examples, right? If you write this example in your examination, and of course the examiner will be very happy, because you're just writing the basic definition of effectiveness and efficiency. You're explaining the basic difference between, by giving an accurate example. All right? Okay. Now, so effectiveness are and are the effectiveness and efficiency are the same side of a same coin. Basically, it's important for an organization. Okay. So, as I said earlier, effectiveness are two sides of the. So, I hope I'm clear. Till now, we understand the definition. Management is used everywhere, from household to organization. Everyone is managing something. So, we are just, but we are keeping in mind in terms of organization. We're not going to the perspective of house. Then we understood the basic difference. Now we are going to characteristics of are very. Till now, do you guys have any doubts or something? Just do let me know. And so I am okay. I am going to teach you the characteristics of management. So management, first and foremost, is management the goal oriented, which means that in order to manage something, have certain kind of, for instance, there's a goal of a manager to increase sales by 20%, or maybe there's a goal of another manager to have ROI of 20. So we should have certain kind of goals in our life. in order to manage, in order to direct our efforts towards the goal, right? There should be a direction. You are preparing for examination. We're preparing for such examination like RBI. You have the direction. You know the syllabus. Okay, I have to read GK, English, quant, reasoning, and for phase 2, I should know ESI, management, finance, and the basic, writing for Englishes. You know the direction, and that is why you are putting all your efforts in the same direction so that you can reach the destination. So same, even an organization should have an objective so that it can the this process. That is management, the goal-oriented process. That is why we are saying again, management is a goal-oriented goal-oriented process. My voice is breaking. Let me check again. Is it fine now, guys? Please do let me know. Hi, hi. Is it better now? Is my voice better now? Please do let me know. Voice break. Hello, hello. Is my voice better now? Please do let me know, guys. No, what's the I hope it's short now. We are so equipped with technology, and sometimes we just can't do anything. Just give me a sec. I'm so sorry for the trouble. Okay. Yeah. So let's get back to the characteristics of management now. Second, we have management is a group activity. So in an organization, we have literally every kind of people. We have a diversified culture, and it's important for an organization, for management, to unite the efforts of all the individual, to unite the effort. Is it better now? To unite the efforts of all the individuals, and again make sure that every individual is going into the same direction, that is to achieve the organizational objective. Okay, so management is a group activity. We know that every person has some personal objective as well, so we should all try to work in that organization where our personal objectives also fulfill at one point or another. Next, we have management is an intangible force. That is, you cannot touch the management. You cannot say, hey, hi management, let's have a coffee together. You cannot say that, right? So what you do, you feel. If there is good management in an organization, you feel the presence of the organization. How? If the employees are happy and they are working on their own, it means they are not require external motivation to do the work. They are happy. Why they are happy? Because they are getting the amount which they deserve. They are working under good working conditions and XYZ reasons. An organization is achieving its objective. So it can be felt, right? So it's an intangible force. Next, we have management is all pervasive. I mentioned that management is everywhere. Whether if I talk about management is everywhere. If I talk about household, you know, according to me, our mothers are best managers in the whole world. They manage their work, spouse, children, everything, and they do everything so perfectly. So same in an organization as well. It does not matter whether an organization is small, big, it's in manufacturing industry or service industry, management is everywhere. And the basic 5 functions of management, please repeat after me: planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. These basic 5 functions more or less perform everywhere. It does not matter the size of organization and in which industry they are working. Next we have management is multidimensional, which means when in an organization, generally 3 kinds of things require management, which are management of work, management of people, and management of operation. So what does management of work means? Let us understand this first. Management of work means to manage the work. Suppose I have a baking not industry, oh my god, it will be very huge. Suppose I have a small store of baking, and I have 2 workers. I hire 2 workers with me in order to help me, right? So it's important for me to manage my work, to see whether all the resources I have, whether my everything is going to the to the meal, to the recipe which I have for all my cakes and everything. So it's called management of work. How am I managing my work which I am going to do? Then we have management of people. As I said earlier, in every organization we have diversity. We have diverse kind of people, and it's important. I believe diversity is beautiful. If we meet every day same people, we will be so bored, right? So it's important to have diversity in organization. If we will have diversity in organization, we will have different viewpoint of every people, and we can take better decision. So management of people, it involves giving them fair remuneration, making them feel that your personal objectives are also important. As you are working for the organizational objective, it is our responsibility. It is the responsibility of the managers to make sure that their personal objectives are also met. So when they are coming to the work, they are working free-mindedly. They do not need external motivation to do the work, and they are doing the work to the best of their capability. Then we have management of operations. Management of operations involve all the production activity. What things involved are all the production activity are involved under the management of operations. Then next characteristics which are also very important is management is a continuous process. Again, I am repeating all the 5 basic functions of management, which is planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. Once we are at the controlling process, it means to check whether the set objectives, whether we able to meet the set objectives, and if not, what are the deviation, what are the reasons behind it. Again we go back to the planning. That is why it is saying that management is a continuous process. We cannot say, okay, we are done with management now. Then we have dynamic function. It's important for an organization to adapt itself with the changes. Suppose I have a paper industry. Now I'm very upset, depressed and sad that I am not earning enough profit in order to survive in the business. And why? What is the reason behind it? Because I am not adapting myself with the technology. Everyone is using internet now. Everyone is using newspaper on phone now. We have Audible. We have different websites. We have easy access of newspaper now. But still, I believe that I should have paper industry only. And now my profits are declining. So here what I should do, of course I should adapt myself with the technology in order to earn more. Of course, okay. This was the last slide, Shraddha. So, in order to earn the profit. So, whether an organization is going forward or not, it's important for the organization to be more dynamic, right? Okay. Next, okay, whether an organization will succeed in the long run or not, it just depends on one single thing, which is whether an organization is adapting itself according to the changes. As we all know, change is constant, so it is for us as well, for humans as well, to adapt itself with the changes. For instance, earlier, Instagram, if I talk about Instagram, people were just posting the pictures, videos for pleasure. But now in today's world, people are earning in lakhs through Instagram. An influencer, a good influencer, earns around 15 to 20 lakh by just posting a video on Instagram. It's the power of Instagram. Now, the people are making career out of them. So, they just adapting themselves with the changes. So, it's important. Next, we have objectives of management. So, again, management. We have 3 basic objectives for every organization, or if I say management as well. Organizational objective, next we have social objectives, and then we have personal objectives. Okay. Yeah, of course, Adarsh. I am repeating the dynamic function. So, it's important for an organization to adapt itself with the changes. For instance, as I mentioned in the example, suppose I'm having a paper industry. I work in the paper industry, or if I talk I have a shop where I manufacture paper or something, a newspaper or something. But newspaper is not a bad thing, right? And suddenly my profits are declining. I am not even earning enough amount of money to survive in this business. So what mistake am I doing here? What mistakes am I doing here? I am not adapting myself with the changes. For example, Adarsh, okay, earlier we used to have physical classes. We used to go there, we sit, teacher सामने ही होते थे. He used to or she used to teach us, right? Now you are viewing us at the comfort of your home. आप घर पर देख रहे हैं हमको बैठ के, right? So this is also dynamic. So what our organization is doing, even we are adapting ourselves with the changes. We know that it is a technology driven world, and in order to go ahead, in order to stay in the competition, it is our utmost responsibility to provide best quality education and at the same time to be in the competition. So, it's important for an organization to be dynamic, right? Dynamic means something which is constantly changing. So, I hope, am I clear now, Adarsh? Please do let me know. Alright? Then we have objectives of management. So, as I said earlier, we have 3 basic objectives of literally every organization. First, we have organizational objective. Then we have social objectives. Last but not the least, personal objectives. So, please do let me know if you guys have any doubts till now. Yes, of course you will get PDF notes after the class. Okay, all right, yeah, let's start with the first objective, organizational objective. Every organization has one objective: to survive in the business. So what does it involve? Survival involves the basic money which they need to earn in order to cover the cost. basic amount which they need to receive in order to, recover the cost. That is why it is saying I'm just surviving. If someone is saying, I'm just surviving, it means the person is having literally more or less no money. So, survival stage, it means enough amount of money to cover the cost. Then we have profit. So, every organization has one objective in its mind when it starts to earn enough amount of profit. Then we have growth. Here we are talking about growth, which is long-term growth. Okay, like in accounts we have a concept which says going concern assumption. Going concern assumption, which says, that every organization assumes that my business will go for long term. My business will be long term. So here growth in terms of long term. Then we have social objective. It is the responsibility for every organization, for every business to be kind towards the society as well. To be kind towards the society as well, because we get all the resources from the society. So it should be our responsibility, everyone's responsibility, but of course we are keeping ourselves with the management or organization here. Social objective. So social objectives involves to provide products and services at reasonable cost, so that even a middle class person like us can easily purchase the products. Then to provide employees fair and adequate remuneration, so that which they deserve, and much more other things. Then we have personal objectives. Here we have 3 different kinds of needs. So basically personal objectives involves the personal objectives of the employees. So here an organization is making sure that it is making sure that it fulfills these needs, which are financial needs, social needs, and higher level needs. Financial needs involve by giving them, of course, fair remuneration. Social needs involve by giving them proper recognition, proper appreciation of their work. Higher level needs involve to to give them tasks and other things, so that they have. Okay, Abhishek. Okay, all right. Okay, Abhishek is requesting to repeat this function, continuous function. All right. So, Abhishek, in every organization or in management, we have 5 basic functions of management. We start with planning, then organizing, then staffing, then directing and controlling. We are going to study these functions in detail in upcoming chapter, in the 3rd chapter, management functions and managerial roles. Please be there. So it is a continuous process. You cannot finish at the last step. You will have to go back to the planning stage. For example, suppose when you plan your day, that in the morning I start with the exercise, or maybe from meditation, then I read my book, then I do some self-care. It involves maybe skin care or anything, and you go to work. At the end of the day, you sit and see whether am I able to achieve all the things which I have written, and if not, what were the reasons behind it? Why did I not achieve maybe 1 or 2 tasks? What were the reasons behind it? So you're just introspecting, you're asking from yourself, what were the reasons? Next day again you will start from planning, you will again plan your day. So it is a continuous process, it cannot be stopped. That is why it is saying it is a continuous process. I hope I made sense, Abhishek. All right? Okay. Okay. We were done with the objectives of management. Again, I am repeating for you guys. We have organizational objective, we have social objectives, and again, last but not the least, the personal objectives of the employee. Now, let us talk about the importance of management. All right? Okay. Importance of management. Someone is writing, पहले basic ही तो पढ़ लो, first class है. Absolutely. I mentioned in the starting of the class as well, it's very important to have strong basics in order to achieve expertise in something, right? If you want to be a teacher or maybe an athlete, then you will not just run 10 kilometers a day. You will start from 1 kilometer, maybe from stretching and everything. Then of course, it's a gradual process, guys. You cannot be expert in a month. It requires time and decades maybe. Now let us talk about importance of management. Till now you must have understood that in order to run an organization and achieve the expertise and everything, it's important to have good management skills. So for the same thing keeping the same thing in mind, we are going to understand the importance of management. First, management helps achieving group goals. So we can say that organization goals are also group goals, because when I'm coming in my organization to work here, I have some personal objectives as well. But when I am working in my organization, suppose I am working in couple of my other colleagues also working, they all have everything in mind that we want our organization to reach higher level of success, because when we help our organization to achieve its goals, then ultimately our goals of personal objectives will also get fulfilled. So it helps in achieving group goals. Then we have management increases efficiency. So how efficiency is increased? So management increases efficiency and it also increases our productivity. Then we have management helps in achieving personal objective. As I also mentioned earlier that if I take care of the organizational goals, then my organization will also take care of my personal goals. How? Of course, by giving me a fair remuneration. And the best thing about work-life balance, I am working with my organization 9 to 10 hours and I am going my home with a strong mental peace. I am spending quality time with my family, XYZ reasons. Then we have management helps in development of the society, right? We read that management also has an objective which was social objective, by giving fair and cheap price products and fair remuneration to employees, by building schools and hospitals for the society. And for the same reason, our government has also has a policy you guys must have aware about it, which is CSR policy, corporate social responsibility. It is legal now, but there are so many organizations which do a lot for the society, which is very good. I want you guys to name 1 or 2 organizations which are doing amazing for the society. Please do let me know. All right. Alright, so next we have dynamic organization. Again, it creates management creates a dynamic organization. Sometimes people or employees are very resistant to change, because change requires efforts and we humans are very lazy. We don't want to put extra efforts. We just want to have everything ready made. And we just want to lie down on our bed and we want another person to do everything. But what management does, management helps overcome these things. We'll study about these things in other things when we study the organizational change chapter in detail. Okay. Very good. You are saying Tata, Wipro. Amazing response, guys. So, okay, all right. Yeah, you will get everything. Mahindra, Wipro, Adani. Very good, Amit. Bhavesh, everyone. Amazing. Amazing. Let's start with the levels of management now. In every organization, we have more or less three levels. We have top level of management, we have middle level of management, and then we have lower level of management. We are going to understand every level of management in detail so that when you study and attempt questions, it will be very easy for you. Okay? So, first let us understand why we are making this distinction. Why should we have levels in an organization? Why should we have levels in an organization? It's a simple answer for that. Because of authority and responsibility. Every person has some sort of responsibility in an organization. Suppose my responsibility is to manage everything related to management, to study, to make notes and everything. For instance, there is some another person who is taking care of finance, there is another person who is taking care of ESI. Okay, so it's important to have clear, so as I written here, it refers to a line of demarcation between various management positions in an organization. It will be easier to allocate the responsibility, to allocate the authority and XYZ reasons. Then it determines the authority and status of managers. As I told you earlier, it's important to determine the authority and the status of managers. Okay? Of course, you can refer. Right after the class, I'm also providing you notes, guys. I do believe that you keep your resources very minimized so that you do not waste your time in studying the books, because the notes which we are providing, we are covering literally everything. I guess you are little late for the class. As I said in the starting of the lecture, we are going to cover everything regarding the management from A to Z. You don't need to cover any external books, because just trust us, we are providing you everything and we are making sure we give you extra, but not to give you something less, So, notes hai, these are sufficient. Please, समझ लो अभी notes के बारे में करेंगे discuss, ठीक है? Then we have top management. So, can anyone tell me generally what kind of people and positions we get in top management? Can anyone tell, please? Is anyone typing? Okay. So, top management consists of the senior most executives of the organization. It involves CEO, it involves CFO and other important chairman. Okay? Of course, Abhishek, I'll do that. I will put all the notes for the class before the class. Alright, it's a first class for me as well. So please excuse me. I will make sure I'm putting the notes before the class. Alright, yeah. So as I said, top management consists of the senior most executives of the organization. It involves CEO, CFO, chairman, independent directors and much more. The top level management is accountable to the shareholders for performance of the organization. So whatever they strategize, they plan, everything they tell to the next level of management, which are middle level of managers. Okay, very good, Ritika, very good, thank you. Okay, thank you. I've written a lot of things in the slide because these are important if I talk about examination perspective. So first let us talk about the functions. What functions do top management perform? First, of course, to formulate to formulate overall organizational goals and strategies for the organization. It should be organization. As I told earlier, to formulate overall organizational goals, what things we are going to achieve, what strategies, how, what and wow, I'm saying wow, how the goals should be achieved. Then we have to coordinate the activities of different departments. Every organization has different departments. We are going to study about these things in the upcoming lecture. For instance, we have sales department, we have production department, we have marketing department and other things. So it's important for an organization to coordinate between these departments according to the overall objectives of the organization. Then we have to be responsible for the welfare and survival of the organization. I think you guys are pro now. You already know that the survival meaning and the welfare. Welfare, the Hindi meaning of welfare is kalyan. So to be responsible for the welfare and survival of the organization. Then we have to analyze the business environment and its implication for the survival of the business. In business environment we have one technique which is strength, weakness, SWOT analysis. In short, we have SWOT analysis. So we do these things as well in order to understand the business environment. Then last but not the least, to be responsible for all the activities of the organization and for its impact on the society. It's very, very, very important. All the bad things are happening in the world right now. Climate change. I'm very afraid of climate change. It's very important for everyone to do something for the society. So guys, do something like teach underprivileged children, do something, join any NGO. Please work for these NGOs as well. Do not just merely work for money, work for these NGOs as well. They really help making a difference in the society. Society is very, very, very important. Next we have middle management. Here they are also referred to, let it be, these people are directly accountable to the top management. They are accountable to the top management. What does that mean? Okay, all right. Okay, so these people are directly accountable to the top management. Whatever plan they do, whatever planning they do, whatever strategies they have, top management peoples, they delegate everything to the middle level management. Now the middle level management is responsible for implementing those activities of their respective departments, devoting more time to organizational and directional functions. So basically they devote more time in implementing those plans which formulated by top management. Please keep in mind, the plans and strategies are formulated by top management, and middle level management spends more time implementing the please, Nimish, give me a second. Let me just complete this middle management topic. Then I will surely get back to you, alright? Okay, I read your comment. Please give me some time to finish this particular topic. What are the different functions they perform? First, executing the plans of the organization. As I said earlier, they execute, they implement the plans which are already, formulated by the top level management. Executing the plans of the organization in accordance with the policies and directives laid down by the top management level. I made sense? Then forming plans for the subunits and training processes of lower level management. After middle level of management, we have one more, a level of management which is lower level of management. So what they do, they also train them in order to fulfill the organizational goals. Then we have participating in the hiring and training processes of lower level of management. If they need more employee, generally who hires them? Middle level of management. They trains them, okay, train them. Then interpreting and explaining the policies from top level management to lower level management. You know what what used to happen in ancient time? Suppose I'm a king. Of course, I will not be the one who will go to the door to door and explain my policies. I will hire some representatives. I will hire some representative who will go. Suppose I have to tell something to the people of my kingdom. I will not go to the person to person explaining everything in detail to them. What I do, again, I will hire some representative and I will inform them whatever I want to convey to the people of my society. I will tell them, and ultimately my representative will inform those people. So top management will not, of course, tell everything to the lower level of management. There is a hierarchy, there is a scalar chain. We will study everything. So the top level management tells to middle level of management, and middle level of management goes to the lower level of management. So it's a chain, it's a process of communication. It's a hierarchy should be there. We'll study this scalar chain in detail in the upcoming session as well. So then we have sending reports and data to top management. As I said, they're accountable. So top level of management wants to know about the progress, about the data, about the reports of the work. Then evaluating the performance of junior managers. Evaluation is very important, you know. When you guys appear for the phase 2 examination and you write the answers and we check whether you performed to the expected level or not, and then we evaluate your answer sheet like we did. People who took our mock test paper, we were evaluating their management answers, we were evaluating their finance answers, ESI answers, and much more. And we will, based on evaluation, we were giving them feedback. What things you missed? Okay, you did a great job. We were giving them the feedback, so it's important. Okay, let me clear the doubt of Nimish first. He was asking about the higher level needs. So basically, if you study the Maslow's needs, again we are going to study the Maslow's need in motivation in detail. So it's higher level needs involve the growth, that I want to achieve the growth and in my life, my everything. So higher level needs involve suppose you want to become the CEO, self actualization needs हम भी इसे कह सकते हैं, that that I want to reach in that level in my life where I feel like I'm happy and successful right now. For instance, you can say for you the higher level of needs maybe to become the governor of RBI. Okay, then we have lower level management. So it also refers to operational or supervisory management. Foreman and supervisor, so basically they perform the basic task for the organization. These people who are under lower level of management. First, they directly oversee the efforts of the workforce. Their authority and responsibility are limited according to the plans drawn by top management. They do what they told them to do. They just have limited authority, they have limited responsibility. It means they are very limited in their actions. Okay. Then supervisory management interacts with the actual workforce and passes on instructions of the middle management to the workers. What they do, they pass their middle instructions to the workers. Then through their efforts, quality of output is maintained. So as I talked that they oversee the efforts of workforce. They are there, they are seeing They are seeing everything. So they know what actual workforce is doing. Are they putting quality efforts in the work or not? And if not, if not, then what is the reason behind it? Okay, then we have the quality and quantity of output depend upon the hard labor, discipline and loyalty of the operating personnel, again because they are more close to the actual workforce. Then we have they represent the workers' grievances before the management and maintain discipline among the workers. If I am having some sort of issue, so what should I do? Should I directly go and talk to the top management people or follow a chain, follow a hierarchy? What should be the process? Of course, I should follow a hierarchy, because maybe it can possible that top management people do not even know me, right? So there should be a hierarchy. Then I hope I am clear till now. Okay, I'll just take 10 minutes more to complete this topic. It's the last topic of this chapter, so please bear with me. I know it was a 1 hour class. Please stay. Okay, so now we are going to talk about nature of management as science and art and as a profession. It's 10 minutes more, then we will be finished with our lecture. So management as a science. Do you guys feel that management can be treated as a science? Please let me know. Do let me know. So first we understand the characteristics of science. We have systemized body of knowledge. We have principles based on experimentation, and then we have universal validity. So what does this involve? So systemized body of knowledge, it means that in science everything which are involved are based on cause and effect relationship. Then we have principles based on experimentation. So whenever a new thing is coming into this world, first they observe, then they experiment with these things, then repeatedly that thing comes into being. Then we have universal validity. More or less all the principles of science has universal validity. Now let us understand whether these three basic features are can be treated as characteristics of management as well. Can we say that management is also a systemized body of knowledge? We can say yes, because in management as well we have to have certain kind of cause and effect. It means that we also have certain kinds of roles to perform and to be at this knowledge stage. Then we have principles based on experimentation. Like we studied that principle based on experimentation. Like it involves that that these principles are first observed, and then by repeated experimentation we feel like okay, we are doing something. So it is based on experimentation. So in management as well we have certain kinds of functions which we need to experiment, but there is a catch here. Suppose in an organization two kinds of people are hired. Okay, of course I will repeat. Suppose there are two kinds of people in an organization. This pen is not working, so I'm just explaining. X and Y. Can it possible that these two persons work in the same way? It does not, right? So this condition does not entirely fulfill that principles based on experimentation, because of the same reason that two persons can't be same, because management deals with the people, and two persons can't be same. Everyone has different perspective, different goals, different actions, different lethargic level and XYZ. Okay. So we can say that management as a science is an inexact science. It is not completely science. Then we have management as an art. Why? When we say management is an art, when we have certain theoretical knowledge and skills to put in the work. For instance, existence of theoretical knowledge. In order to teach management, or I should have prior knowledge. I cannot just stand here and teach XYZ. It cannot be possible. I have to have some theoretical knowledge, then personalized application. For instance, suppose I have two teachers. For instance, we say we have Suraj sir and we have Chetan sir. They both teach very well, but they do teach very differently. Suraj sir has a personalized touch in his teaching, and on the other hand, Chetan sir has some other personalized touch in the teaching. They both do their job pretty well, but they are very different in their job. That is why it is written here, art involves personalized application. Alright, then it is based on continuous practice. I cannot say that I know everything about teaching, and and there is no one in this world, no person in this world who teach better than me. It's not possible, because practice makes a man and a woman perfect. You cannot be, because by learning on a continuous basis you can be good at something, right? So it is a continuous practice. You have to practice on a daily basis. Then creativity. We have only 7 music notes in this world, or in Hindi I say swar. हमारे पास 7 स्वर होते हैं, which is सा, रे, गा, मा, पा, धा, नी. But by using just 7 notes, our music industry is creating superb music. So creativity. And the good thing is management fulfill these 3 definitions of characteristics of as an art. Theoretical knowledge, as I said earlier, the example of teacher or maybe employees. 2 employees can't work same, right? They have different way of doing a work based on continuous practice by learning every day. Then we have creativity. Suppose for instance short notes. If I talk about short notes, I will be sharing the notes of the short notes as well, where you with which you guys can revise everything in like just half an hour. So it involves a lot of creativity. Those people who study from short notes, okay, all right, so creativity. Then last but not the least, we study about management as a profession. It involves well-defined body of knowledge. Then we have restricted entry. Then we have professional association. Then we have ethical code of conduct. And last but not the least, service motive. Let's understand management. In order to, is it necessary to become a manager to have an MBA degree? Can anyone please tell me, is it necessary that in order to be the manager of big force maybe or some big MNC, is important for me to have an MBA degree? Is it necessary? Just do let me know. Just do let me know. Bharti, we share the index in the starting. Please do check. Yeah, it's not necessary. So, of course, in our profession, we have restricted entry, but we cannot say that merely having a degree will help a person in achieving all the skills. So, this condition does not apply in management. Then we have professional association. For example, in order to become a chartered accountant, for example, I today decided to become a chartered accountant. What should I do? Of course, I should study and become a part of the ICAI. So professional association is important. But in management, that level of professional association is not important. So this condition also does not apply to the management. Then we have ethical code of conduct. Very, very, very important. Any doctor, whenever there is a doctor or maybe a policeman and they completed that, the course and everything, they take an oath in front of the society in which they, promise themselves to deliver their best to the society and everything. Same, of course, this condition applies to the management. Then we have service motive, which involves that, I am here to provide the services to you, for example, teacher. So this thing also, fulfill the condition of management. So some of these things are we can say, if I like, so management as a profession is not, management is not a profession on its own. So this was the whole class, and we are done with the first chapter today. I hope I am able to make your concepts clear, and I see you in my next class. Thank you.